Hello, everybody, and welcome to another podcast by RCB College. I'm your host, Usama Ajmal, and today we are going to talk about the smart ways to fund your post secondary education. Today, we have our special guest, Mr. Usman Sadiq, here to talk about RESP fundamentals. Usman, thank you for joining us. So, Usman, what exactly is RESP?
RESP is a registered education saving plan. It's a plan offered where your investment can grow. You can defer the taxes until the student can withdraw. So just to simply, if any child is born and when you get the social insurance number, you can go to a bank or you can go to any other channels which is offers you the RESP account. You open the education account. The purpose of this account is to assist the students when they are going to start the post-secondary education.
Perfect. Okay, so what type of RESP accounts exists?
There are a few options. One is the individual RESP account. If you have one child, one boy or girl, you can open the individual RESP account, registered education saving plan. If you have 2 or 3 kids, so you can open the family RESP plan, because it gives you flexibility. So if one is going to university, one is not going to the university, you can move more investment towards one child for the education. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility. And there's one plan which is not commonly used called Group RESP plan, where anybody can invest into the RESP, but there's some limitations. So normally I see the most popular account is family RESP plan, where you have and anybody can open it. So grandparents can open it, your aunt can open it, even the family friends can open the RESP account.
Okay, perfect. So, how is it different from a regular investing account or any other investment account?
And the purpose of this one is purely to assist the kids with the education. So yes, it's a good question. How is it different from the other one here? Yes, anything you invest into that is it goes tax deferred until you withdraw the money. But I think most important thing I need to highlight is this is the one of the least utilized account. My experience in banking, I hardly see that people are opening the RESP account and investing the money into the RESP accounts here, which is quite surprising. I mean, it's just one thought came to my mind yesterday. One of my friend, he said, "Well, I am celebrating my daughter's 7th birthday, and I thought, okay, so what kind of things you like, what gifts you like?" And that idea came to my mind. The best gift is I should put the money in. If she has RESP account, I should put some money into RESP account. And that's something we should encourage the people around us. Okay, well, this is the best thing. If you are going to celebrate the birthdays, have your family, friends, have your relatives, and tell them, oh, if you want to do anything, let's put the money in. This is a RESP account number. You can go to that bank, tell them I like to contribute to that. And that's one of the best strategy when you're talking about the RESP accounts.
Yeah. So I'm trying to understand about the RESP situation. How do these contributions grow?
Oh, the contributions grow. There's a You can, for example, if you put $1,000, you have option. You can invest into the mutual funds. You can invest into stocks. You can invest into the guaranteed income certificates. So there's a few options available. So there's a strategy means that, okay, if you are putting $100 every month, it's going to be automatically be investing into the mutual funds. And then it can keep growing, let's say 5% growth rate or 7% growth rate. The good part is, yeah, you're not going to pay the taxes until you are going to withdraw these ones here. So it's just like anyone, you asked me the question earlier, just like you invest money into any brokerage account or you have tax-free savings account, you are going to invest the money and it can keep growing inside the account until you are going to withdraw that. So it's just like any other account, but the purpose of this one is that this is specifically open for the education purposes. So when your child decide to go to the university, their fees is going to be $40,000 or $50,000. You have $40,000, $50,000 which you can withdraw, so they don't need to take the student loan.
So, how much can a family invest annually or over the lifetime of the RSP account?
First of all, there's no annual limits basically, but you have to do this smartly. You can go up to $50,000 for the full span of the RESP until child goes to the university. That is the maximum amount you can do. So annually, there's no limit here. What I suggest is you have to look at what grants available. So the lifetime limit for any grants from the government is $7,200. So how much is the good amount to invest the maximum? What I suggest is $2,500. And why $2,500? Because government can match up to 20% of that amount. Means that in terms of grants, or the maximum $500. So if you put $2,500, government can give you $500 grant available to match that one here. So it's a wise move to do it fully. Let's utilize the full grants available. But it's not going to restrict you. Okay, I have to have $2,500. You can even go for $100 a month or $200, whatever you have. The best approach is, well, when the child is born, you just decide, okay, I am going to put $100 or $200 every month into the child account. And when you start, for example, $200 a month, you will be closely going to that limit of $500 here. Now, there's another option, another good part about the RESP account is that if you have a lower income, government can match, give you additional 10 to 20% on the first $500 amount. So you can actually have a higher grant available to you, which a lot of families don't know that, okay, I have a lower income, so I don't have money to invest into that. You can do that, and then you can get additional grants available to you. But overall, it's $7,200 available for you. So you want to see, okay, am I going to utilize that one here throughout this? And if you utilize fully and you get full $7,200 grant available and you can keep investing the money, I think you can have enough money to support your child education for when they go to the bachelor's, for the full bachelor's program. So this way, they don't need to have higher student loans. And imagine the kids, they just graduating from the school, they have no loans, they can find a job, and they can find apartment or anyone, they can live happily rather than just thinking about, okay, I have to pay back the loan available.
Because they have their investments ready for them.
Correct, yes.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
So we talked about the different types of account earlier about RESP, that we have family accounts, we have group plans. What are the pros and cons of each type of the RSP plan?
I think as I mentioned to you, the family plan is best why because it gives you the flexibility. I don't think so cons are there because when you open an individual account and you have another child, then you have option to convert into the family plan. Then talking about the group plan, I think I hardly see that one there. You have lots of limitations and everything there, but most popular is, as I said, the family plan. Again, there's a pros there, but it's hardly see any cons on that one there. But these plans, family plan is the one I feel more common, that give you flexibility. I looking back to my banking career, I saw mostly the grandparents coming. Okay, I have my grandson born or so here's a baby. So I want to open the RESP account for them. I like to contribute to that account. I see the aunts coming, uncles coming. I see some of the even family friends. Oh, it's my friend's daughter. And I'd like to go back to, okay, what's the best strategy is. So you open the family RESP account and you celebrating your daughter's first birthday. And people like to bring these different gifts, and you tell them, yeah, you like to give them the gift, but you tell them that, okay, the best gift is I have the account for them, and they will learn from this strategy. So there's account number, if you like to give me some gift, contribute towards that there. So there's a benefits available. I don't see there's any disadvantages of opening RESP account. And one of the fact, I tell you that lots of people, they don't know that part, that there's one element called Canada Learning Bond. So there's a $2,000, even you have a lower income, you don't contribute a penny into the account, government can still give you up to $2,000 in Canada Learning Bond, and that is $100 every month. So it's beneficial for you to open the account because there's money available. Government can give it to you. It's not going to harm you, and you can open even you don't contribute any money. You still get some money into the account.
So, whenever you're investing in these accounts, can the contributor choose where the money is going to go?
Yes, you have the option. Earlier years, it's better. Maybe if you're looking for a higher growth, you take a little bit more risk. You can invest into the equity stocks. You have the exchange traded funds, ETFs, and you have mutual funds. So you keep it more of a high risk, higher growth. And then later on, you can switch to the, when it goes closer to, let's say that child age is 13, 14 years old. Okay, I'm about a few years left now. I'm about to withdraw the money. Then you can say, okay, let's go to low risk. You can go to the guaranteed income certificates. You can go to the lower risk mutual funds. So you can change the strategy. You can open the account and have it annual review with your advisor. Once you have your annual review with the advisor, discuss the, okay, what's the growth rate looks like here? Is it a 5%, 7%? Okay, certain, okay, I'm going to withdraw in a couple of years, so let's lower the risk of these investments. So you have options. That's the reason I said, well, the best strategy is to have automatic investment plan settled on there. So if I go to the bank and say, okay, I like to contribute every month $200. So let's take first $100 when I get paid first of the month. Let's take the second $100 when I get paid in the 15th of every month. And let's invest into the money. I just take, for example, the dividend growth fund. Let's put the money into the dividend growth fund. It automatically being invested. So you're taking advantage of low and high of the market. So sometimes you're buying a lower and then it's keep growing into the investments here. So, but most important thing, try to understand what you're investing in. Just don't say, oh, my friend said that invest into this stock. I like to invest into the Tesla stock because quite cheaper right now, but you don't understand what exactly strategy looks like here. Let's spend some time with the advisor, pick the right investments, do annual review, and try to educate yourself. Lots of people still don't know what is a mutual fund, and you need to learn, okay, I'm investing money into the mutual fund account. What is exactly a mutual fund? Is a pool of different funds, and I should learn what exactly this mutual fund, what are the top 10 holdings of the fund is, what are the other holdings of the fund is, and what was the the performance, what was the Morningstar rating of that fund is. Yeah, so there's a few things, but there's lots of options available. But what I suggest is, rather than say, okay, I can put lump sum money. Well, lump sum money is not a bad idea. So if you got money coming back from somewhere, from inheritance, another one here, let's put it into the account and let's invest it. But if one thing you should be able to do is, when the child is born, the best gift is, let's open the account for them and let's have it automatic plan set up for them.
So we were talking about the investments and how you should pick up the right option. Can we clarify some RESP investment work and how the investments and growth are within the RESP?
Yes, so let's do a little bit different. Let's do that look more of a role play scenario.
Sure.
We assume that you have a nephew and you like to open RESP account for them.
Mhm.
Let's see what's your strategy is. You go to the bank and you just ask them, I want to open RESP account for my nephew. When what option, what kind of investment you have in your mind that you are going to pick it for them? Do you have anything in your mind at the moment, or?
So I'm gonna do a savings account. I'm gonna put a little bit of money into
Okay.
it, maybe regularly, maybe
Mhm.
on some different occasions, for example,
Okay.
their birthdays or special moments in their life,
Mhm.
probably.
So that's exactly it. I mean, when we are going to invest into that, we need to see what's my understanding about the investment is. I have no clue about the investment, so let's put the money into the savings account. Yes, it's going to not going to grow that quickly, but it gives me a fixed investment, maybe 2%, 3% interest rate available there. And then maybe slowly I like to educate myself, and okay, I like to have a little bit higher growth because, well, I have a long time horizon of 10 to 15 years of growth. So I can take certain risks. So I need to understand what is the mutual fund looks like here. Then that's, to me, is the second stage. I'm not going to jump it quickly. Okay, let's put the money into this stock. So this is a mutual fund. Maybe I give you example of dividend growth. So these are the companies which offers dividend. They are well-established companies. So let me put that. But I can ask my advisor here, what is the dividend growth fund? How it works? What companies they are investing into the money into? Maybe they are investing the money into the Bank of Montreal, Royal Bank, or other areas. And these are top 10 holdings. What's the history of the fund? What's the investment for last 5 years returns and everything? I understand. Or if I am a very high risk person, if I have a good education, I probably like to pick the stocks of Royal Bank or TD Bank or maybe Apple. I can pick any options here. Again, the idea here is in the earlier years, I could take more risk. So I can do, but I'm not saying that I need to put it into the very risky, because I want to make sure that after a quarterly investment return, I don't want to see that my investment disappeared. So whatever is my comfort level is, when you go to the bank, they will ask you, there's a term called KYC, know your client. They will ask you all the right questions, and that question is, one is about your risk level. So if your risk level says that you are low risk level, then yes, they will suggest you in saving plan. If your risk level says you're a medium risk level, they will probably suggest you some of the mutual funds. If you're a very high risk person, then there's going to be some equity options available. So that option presented to you, you make sure you spend more time and pick the right options there.
Got it. Okay. So talking about the risk,
Okay.
let's talk about what are the risks involved. For example, if the market dips right before the student wants money.
Yeah, so it goes back to what we discussed earlier. Earlier years, you take high risk. If my son, I gave you example, is going to do, he's in high school right now. So if he's in 2 years time frame, he's going to the university. Of course, I'll need to lower the risk. And it's a very good question, because I will, if I keep my money into the higher stock, let's take example of Tesla. So Tesla goes in up and down swings. So then I am going to be affected here. So I just need to go to the bank and discuss with them that, okay, all I have is 1 or 2 years time, and I like to lower the risk. What are these ones here? Okay, here are some funds which can give you consistent return of 5% or 6% or maybe 4%, but there's a very less risk involved with that. So let me move my investment into that one here, because certain greed comes in, which affects that. Okay, no, I like to keep it that one here. Maybe my money is going to be double, but that's not the purpose of your investment. Is your purpose of investment is to help your son or the daughter with the education. That is, you're not just doing, if I like to play with the money, I can open another account and I can play around, but this is not the account I like to play. So most important is, go to the bank earlier and say, okay, now time is only 1 or 2 years or 3 years. I like to lower the risk. So I don't see that up and downs of the market. And again, it goes back to your comfort level. If that, another thing is, if the growth rate is achieved and your investment sitting at $52,000, for example, and the university fees is for the degree program is $48,000. So, well, you can lower the risk quite more. You don't need the that much money available.
Got it. Okay. So we're putting the money in. We got the investments. So
Yes.
now the kid wants to go to the university now. How can the student withdraw the money, and
Mhm.
how will it be taxed?
Mhm. So all you need is to have the acceptance letter from the university for the admission. So you take the acceptance letter, take it to the bank or wherever you open the account, and tell them, okay, here's the acceptance letter that shows the fees, and there's a forms you need to sign, and you can withdraw that money. Now, it's an interesting question about tax. How it's going to be taxed here? So this money is going to be taxed on your, in my example, I take my son's income, which is, they are going to be very lower tax bracket. So any money you put it from your pocket. For example, if I put $20,000 from my own pocket, this is not going to be taxed. Anything which is a growth, the growth means any money on the grants. So when I got the grant for $7,200 over the lifetime of the RESP, that is going to be taxed. Any growth on my money. So I invested $20,000 and now it's sitting at $29,000. So $29,000 minus $20,000, $9,000 is the growth of that one here, which is going to be taxed in the child's hand. And they are going to be in a very lower tax bracket there. So they are not going to be affected.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. So last question for the day. What happens if the student wishes not to continue with the education? So what happens to the RSP account?
First, I mean, if you have a family RSP account, you can utilize this money towards the other child education. But if they decide not to use it here, if you have the RRSP, which is Registered Retirement Saving Plan, if you have a room, you can transfer the money into that. But my understanding, there's going to be 20% penalty for that one there, which you can transfer there. There's going to be 20% penalty when your child is not going to pursue, because the purpose of this plan is to help the children to the post-secondary education plan here. But you have certain options available in RRSP where your advisor can explain to you, okay, based on your limits, yes, you can transfer up to certain amount there, but there's and you have to return any grants you got from the government here, because that was purely for the education purposes there.
So ending today's episode, what's the one thing that you want our viewers to take from this episode?
Oh yes, it's always good once you listen to this, you say, okay, this is something I am going to apply. So most important thing, as I mentioned earlier, well, if your child's birthday is coming, maybe it's the first birthday, second birthday, third birthday, and you don't have RESP account, so let's do this step. Go to the bank or whoever your advisor is, say, okay, I like to open RESP account. If it's individual account or is it the family account? You open account, and if you have a little bit money, invest in, and you just look at your cash flow and say, okay, I'd like to set up $100 every month plan, which monthly, or you have it $50 on that. And then this is the best way to celebrate a birthday. You have some guest coming and you can educate your child also. You know what the best birthday gift is? We are putting the money into your RESP account here. And anybody say, okay, we like to bring some guest gift for you. I'm not saying that you need to be greedy and say, okay, please bring it $500 here. Tell them we have the education saving plan open. If you like to contribute, you can contribute there. And that's a very good habit here, because, okay, that's the best birthday gift here. Imagine your child going to the university and they have all the tuition fees available for that. So take a step today. Open the RESP account. Tell your friends, family members, grandparents, or whoever's close friends are, if you like to give a gift to my son or my daughter, please put some money into the RESP account. So that account number should be available. Here's a bank, here's account number. Anybody can go and they can contribute towards that.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you everyone for tuning in. If you like our today's episode, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know the drill. And please let us know in the comments what other topics you would like us to cover. Thank you.
Thanks.